Hi guys, Retro Tech Ralph here. I've got an unboxing video for you this time. This time it's Cluedo. I did one about a year ago on Mega Monopoly and that seems to have gone ballistic on the views. Anybody who've already watched that one, who are watching this, thank you very much for the views. Really do appreciate it. This time we've got Cluedo. Now, there are so many versions of Cluedo out there. It's same with Monopoly. There's tons of different versions. There's your TV spin-offs, your film spin-offs. Where I reviewed last time, the Mega Monopoly, which makes it a bigger board, more properties, different level to go to. With Cluedo, it's similar but not the same. It's mainly just different themes where you've got stuff like, this is a more recent version. I think this is the up-to-date version of Cluedo. There are Simpsons versions, there are Game of Thrones versions, Big Bang Theory versions. So obviously it's the characters on the actual game which are changed. There's even a Rick and Morty version out there. It's good selling technique if you like the type of program, which is great. But I bought Cluedo, the classic one, but unfortunately the classic one not unfortunately, it is fortunate, it's changed. They look different characters: Colonel Mustard, Miss Scarlet, Miss White, I'll assume, even though she's wearing blue. She might not be Miss White actually, because I thought she was the chef, the cook. Purple guy, Reverend Green, but Dr. Orchid as well. That's a different one. An Oriental, murderer with a lead pipe. But it's obviously that the game was to solve the mystery. In the centre, you'll find out in a moment anyway, but in the centre you'll pick 3 cards at complete random, put them in the centre in a pouch. You get a certain amount of cards, or the rest of your players get a certain amount of cards, and they know that they are off the list. You have to tick off on a list of who didn't do it. So it's just basically a whodunit sort of game. I'll get this one for the American viewers. Yes, the Americans call it Clue. There was a film out with Tim Curry quite a few years ago, which is absolutely brilliant. It was just a complete farce, but it was called Clue. And this is the UK version called Cluedo. Don't know why they called it Cluedo. Don't even know what Cluedo is. Cluedo? Cluedo? Don't know. But Americans, the Western side, call it Clue. We call it in the UK Cluedo. So let's get on with opening this. Front, you can tell there's a lot of difference. If I had an original Cluedo, I could show you the mass differences between the actual characters. There's so many different. The art on the actual characters themselves are so, I don't know, the 20s, 40s, 1940s or something. I say 20s, this is 2020 now, but I mean 1920. They're the really old, weirdly fashioned sort of characters, which were fine. We always used to get along with them, it was perfectly fine. So I'm guessing more of an update. So let's get into this. Let's have a look at the box art. Got Cluedo on the side, Cluedo there, Cluedo up here, Cluedo there, and magical, here's the back. 1 murderer, 6 suspects. So Professor Plum, okay, there's a purple one there. Miss Scarlet, Colonel Mustard, Mrs. Peacock, okay, that's why she's wearing the blue. Reverend Green, so these are all original characters. And Dr. Orchid is a new one. Mysterious, adventurous, ambitious, delinquent, there. Who committed the murder in the mansion. So it looks different to what I used to play as a kid. But you've still got the same sort of cards and the same sort of, you've got a revolver, lead pipe, a wrench, as the Americans call it. We call it an adjustable spanner, candlestick, dagger, and rope. So it is the exact same. Characters look like they're actually the colours and not a weird sort of, if you turn it, well, it looks like a ball with a it always looked weird back then anyway. But they were just figures. They never thought back then, when I was a kid, to actually mould them exactly like they're supposed to be. So, proper unboxing. This is shrink wrapped. This is straight from the shops. This is not going back to the shops after I've done this, because we're going to be playing this. So, let's get open. There's a little bit of shine on the top of the box. That's my light, but you have to bear with that a second until I get this open. So it's completely fresh. Box fresh. So what you get inside here, Cluedo, the classic mystery game. Now if you want to read of that, off you go. Dr. Black of Tudor Mansion, requests the honour of your company in celebration of his 30th birthday and the reopening of his house. 30th birthday? Wow, and he's got a mansion for a house on his 30th birthday? Well done, boy. Yeah, so you have, as well as the people and the actual murder weapons, it does say wrench, I know, and a revolver instead of a gun. You have the kitchen, the dining room, the lounge, the hall, study, library, billiard room, conservatory, and ballroom. Who has a ballroom? But then again, who films out of a garage? Okay, so you set up, the show on the front of here, it takes 10 minutes to 1 hour to actually play this, but it takes 5 minutes to set up. So you go through the instructions. I am not going through these now. If you want to play, go buy your own and play. You can't play this here on this video, but it is a fun game. You can get them pretty cheap on eBay if you want an older version, if you want a used version. I got a brand new one because it was a birthday present. Not for me. Mine's not. My birthday's not yet. So suggestions. So making suggestions, process of elimination, secret passages, because you can go from one side to the other, but we'll find that out later. Miss Scarlet, beautiful, seductive, ruthless, manipulative. Okay. See, they all kind of, if you can see them properly. Let me turn the light out a second. They all kind of look a little bit like famous people. You can get a look there. Now that looks a little bit like Jerry Halliwell, Jelly Horner, Jerry from Spice Girls. I don't know who she looks like, but she looks very familiar. Professor Plum, again, familiar, but I don't know. Colonel Mustard, possibly the guy from Jumanji. Reverend Green, for some reason, looks like Matt Perry off of Friends, and I can't think who the Oriental woman looks like. Again, sorry for the shine, it's the lights in here. There we go. But yeah, and this was made in 2015, so it's 5 years old, but I don't think they've done a revision since on the classic, the standard classic one. So you get your cards. Let's have a look. Open up of these. It should be very easy to open if you had nails. So pull on the gold. Okay, these should be very easy to open. Plastic away. So you have, on the backs you've got the Cluedo 2015 Hasbro SA, all your characters. So you dish out you keep these between, as I remember, you'd keep those, and what you'd do is one of these somebody would select. So that would be the murderer. So you'd select that one, and that one. So that would be your solution. But everybody else would have these cards dished out between them. You might only have, you've got a game of, is it 6? Yeah, game of 5. You would only have that, but you would know you're not the killer. So you can cross that one off of your list, which is probably underneath here. So it's just a process of elimination, but then you move around the board as well to try and figure out what's what. And picking cards up, like, where? There's no time left, time to relax. And is anyone avoiding the lounge card must reveal it? Oh, okay. Somebody holding it, right. So if you've got that, you must go like, yeah, I've got it. Anyone. All players show one card to the left. So it kind of brings the game a little bit forward. Instead of just, have you got that? No. Have you got that? No. With 2 people, it's kind of an easier game because you've got half of these, so you'll have 3. Your partner will have 3. Well, actually they won't. You'll have 2. You might have 3. They might have 2. Yeah, because there's one in the murder bit. So you go through the game. Let's get the board out and have a look. So, come on, off you get. Right, the board is here. Now this will be awkward because I can't get this board on the screen at once. So, there we go. It's never the right way around. When I'm filming here, you can read ballroom the right way around, conservatory, and there, and kitchen. You've got to think that there's people playing, so it all points towards the middle. So you've got the ball, dining room, lounge over here. If you're an original player of Cluedo, you'll see this as probably the same. Because because they do look, the layout looks exactly the same than what. Yeah, it is. It's lounge, conservatory, kitchen, study. Yeah, it looks very much the same. You've got secret passages on here. I think, yes, there. Secret passages to the kitchen. So you could cut across all the way to the corner here. That's better. I've got almost all the board in there then. So you go from one side to the other. Same as here, secret passage straight over to the conservatory. So that's how you get from one side of the board pretty quickly. If not, you'd start, if say you Colonel Mustard, you'd start here, you'd roll the dice, you'd move forward 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get into the lounge. But it's as simple as that. I don't think I ever used that part, the main stairwell, which looks like it's going down to a cellar, but it isn't. Okay, so it's just basically a roll the dice, play the game, turn-based sort of board game. But you have to go around and turn over the cards. I mean, my partner, Amanda, she's actually really good at playing this. I'm absolutely useless, but the first time I played this in a long time, a few years ago, I got caught being, well, I actually got accused of being cheating, but I didn't cheat, I just guessed well. So all you'll do is start with, you get your one piece of paper off this. If you're green, you'll tick that off, because, or cross that off, because you know you're not the killer. You got a candlestick, you got a ballroom, you can cut those off if you wanted to when you get really low further down in the game. If you've got a couple of little things left over, you could just guess. You can say, right, I've got Peacock that I know is the killer. It's either the rope or the revolver, and it's going to be in the library. You just make a guess. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You're out of the game completely, because you've accused somebody of murder, and that's not a good thing. Hello, what's that under here? Oh, this is the pouch. This is the mystery pouch. So what you do is your 3 cards you pick from the start, unbeknown to you, you put them all face down, and you just pick whatever at random. You put them inside, so nobody could see, and that is put in the middle of the board. So you would not know who it is, even yourself, when you're picking them. I mean, it's not a bad little game, to be honest. Let's get these open, shall we? Trying to decapitate Professor Plum. So, standard, two nice sized dice. Hello, there's a, why have they got that on it? Why have they got standard dice, but the one has got the magnifying glass? Perhaps a read of instructions may go well. So there's there's a metal candlestick. The lead piping, which is metal. It's not like it's been screwed in place, actually. It doesn't like a lead piping, to be honest. Why would it have a thread on it? Now, I remember the original game that I had for this, and I thought it was the same colour as lead, and there's a good possibility that the version that we had, it might have been lead. But I don't know. I really don't know. There's no talk about it ever being lead anyway, so it probably wasn't. Revolver, it looks like an old pistol. But you've got 6 holes in the front. Very interesting, aren't they? You've got a little screw hole on there. Next one, rope. Now that's cheap, that's just plastic. We actually had a piece of rope on the original one, so it may be a good idea on these to just maybe cannibalise an original set. So you've got better. Now that dagger's very odd. Yeah, possibly if I can get a for myself for my own for this game, maybe I can get. Yeah, that's all right. An original set for a couple of £1 and just use the original pieces. Down to the characters. Now these are better. However, it's Professor Plum, if you can see him. And we have Sassy Miss Scarlet, looking all red. With these actually, they are pretty good, probably injection molded pieces. So why not paint them? If you got them yourself, I mean, I like little models anyway. So there's nothing saying you can't get a little bit of pink, put on the arms, on the face. But the hair would be possibly red anyway. But you can actually make these more realistic. Kind of mustard. He'd be wearing yellow anyway, or something like that. You could just accentuate a little bit of the facial features. There's Reverend Green. Looking like he's got a normal collar on, actually. A little bit odd. But what's he doing? What's he doing? Is he dancing? Is he really dancing? Now there's Professor Orchid. Is it Professor Orchid? Dr. Orchid, sorry. But a pink character instead of having the white character. So just replacing that just adds more colour to the game, I suppose. And then you have the blue character, which is obviously Peacock. Now the Peacock character from the original was... oh, was she? She was like a lot older woman, I'm sure she was. Well, this looks like it's actually... she's either leaning into trying to kill somebody, or maybe she's dancing with the Reverend. No, stop doing that. That's a little bit silly. So yeah, it's a revamp of an old game, which is good to see. All these games getting redone and stuff. There's a lot of old games that the old board games from when I was a kid that they've never actually ever redone, which is a shame. There was one that were called Careers, and it was actually quite a good board game. It was very similar sort of style to Monopoly, where you go around the board, but you'd make a career and you'd make money. And the version we had two versions, a 70s version and I think a 40s or a 50s version. And there were one of the careers that was uranium miner or something, space pilot or something. Because back then it was the the careers that you'd want to go in, but you'd never get it, obviously, because you'd never be an astronaut or whatever. But it's an interesting game. I might do a review of that, an unboxing sort of version of that in the future. But it's nice to see that these old games are still going. I mean, I don't know how long Cluedo's been around for, whether or not it's barely just being done, or if it's just, I don't know. I mean, I think Cluedo's got to be done from the 40s, hasn't it? I'm sure it is. But yeah, if you let's have a look on divided in 1943, so just after World War II, just during World War II, from Anthony E. Pratt from Birmingham. Now, is it a Birmingham, UK or Birmingham, US? No, it was in England. It was actually in England. Anthony E. Pratt. So, thank you, Anthony, for actually making this. Waddington's used to originally make this. This one, I think, is Hasbro, so it's obviously been bought out over the years anyway. But yeah, that's what you get inside the 2015 version of Cluedo. More issues will be out anyway, I'm sure, by the time of you'll be watching this video, or by the time that there's, yeah, you might not watch this video for a few years, you might watch it tomorrow, I don't know. But yeah, it's a good version, it's a good update on the classic Cluedo. So anyway, if you like that, please like and subscribe. Please follow me on social media. Put a comment below if you know a lot more than I do, which you probably will, to be honest. So thank you very much for watching either way, and I'll see you in a new video. Bye for now.